And the teacher decided to take us for a field trip to the mikveh. And it had a really profound impact of being exposed to it and learning about it. And I kind of tucked it away in the back of my head that, okay, you know, so maybe when I'm older I'll try it.
I grew up in a Catholic home, but being a spiritual person, a religious person, I knew that a mixed marriage wasn't going to work for me. And the mikveh was the final step. And I went into the mikveh as a Gentile, and I came out of the mikveh as a Jew.
When I went to the mikveh, I met the shomeret. I was fascinated by the facility and the concept. And so I decided to study with the shomeret with a little hesitation because it was new, and I knew that my husband especially would not buy into Orthodox lifestyle. So how on earth was I going to do this and keep him in the loop?
I needed to mark the change. I needed to mark the next stage of mourning and the next stage of who I was, a daughter who didn't have her father anymore. And it was this beautiful moment where I went into the mikveh still somebody deep in mourning, and I came out of the mikveh somebody a little bit different.
It was a powerful feeling, and as I went under the first time, there was just a rush of emotion, and the second time it was even more. And actually the third time I actually began to cry underwater. Well, it impacted my life because for me it was that moment where I became a Jew.
Because I'm a young mother with a young family, I often don't have the opportunity to often pray on a daily basis. And after I immerse, I take a few minutes to stay in the bath itself and connect with God and submit my personal request to Him after doing such a meaningful physical and spiritual experience. And that is something that I really enjoy when I'm there.
You can't have these experiences without expecting there to be a journey process with it. You don't just suddenly keep kosher. You have to learn about it. You don't just suddenly use the mikveh. You have to learn about it and understand it and sort through it. And then once you make these decisions and you're in the process of doing, you're constantly processing that information and growing and changing. It's a beautiful experience. It's a lovely experience, and it's very special to your womanhood. There's very special, and you do have a spiritual moment when you are there. And when you come home, because your relationship with your husband becomes a spiritual moment. You realize in intimacy in life that there's something greater than you.
And I keep going back to the mikveh for both the traditional and the really different and creative and alternative reasons. And the mikveh for me is this beautiful, spiritual, holy place, a place where change can happen on the inside, a place where there's so much hope, there's so much inspiration, there's so many opportunities. You never know until you're there. And all of these moments, you go in one way, and you come out this very different person.
Mikveh is the most spiritual experience that I have ever had. When I immerse myself in the mikveh waters and say the blessing, it has never failed to bring tears to my eyes and make me feel as close to God as I've ever felt. Protects and strengthens our sexuality and makes us better wives and mothers.
The number one thing that I want to emphasize really is the importance of education. That here I was a girl who didn't know anything about it, and because this teacher had taken the time to take us on a field trip, it had a profound impact on my life.
we have to use this, part of the mitzvah is going to such a beautiful facility, the mikveh itself. And to me, it's not only is it beautiful, but its essence is to help promote Jewish marriages that promote a time and place for communication and for physical intimacy at the right times in the month.